keyword called in to link them together. So the object to the right of the in can be any object, that supports iteration. So here is another example. This multiplicand is example of tuples, which is having this as variables. And again we have declared this variable named product and assigned the value 1 for mult in multiplicands, which is this mult is nothing but a variable we need to define. మనం ఇక్కడ వేరే ఏ నేమ్తో అయినా డిక్లేర్ చేయొచ్చు అనమాట. సో for a variable called mult in this list, in this tuple, the product is equal to product into these multiple values, which results 360. And yes, we can even loop through each character in a string. We can also iterate this loop when we define this string values. Here we have assigned s with a string, and ఇక్కడ మనం ఒక ఫర్ లూప్ రాసాం చూడండి. For character in s, if character dot is upper is one method which is used to retrieve the uppercase letters in a string. We can also use this is upper method to convert the smaller case letters into uppercase. So here we are retrieving this uppercase characters in this string. So if character dot is upper, it will print the character here. So HELLO is in uppercase in the string. So this hello is the result. And yeah, range is a function that returns a sequence of numbers. It turns out to be very useful for writing loops. Yeah, range is a method we use to define in the limit. Like range ఎప్పుడు యూస్ చేస్తామంటే ఇన్ దిస్ రేంజ్ మనం ఎప్పుడైనా ఏదైనా డిఫైన్ చేసేటప్పుడు లిమిట్ స్పెసిఫై చేయాలంటే ఈ రేంజ్ అనే దిస్ ఫంక్షన్ ఈ రేంజ్ అనే ఫంక్షన్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం అనమాట. So for I in a range of 5, print doing important work I is equal to, which means in range of 5 we are printing this statement. సో 0 నుంచి 4 వరకు ఈ వాల్యూ ప్రింట్ చేసింది అనమాట. ఇన్ రేంజ్ 5 అంటే 0 to 5 నెంబర్స్ కౌంట్ అవుతుంది. 0 1 2 3 4. So coming to while loops, the other type of loop in Python is while loop, which iterates until some condition is met. So here a variable called I is declared as 0, is assigned as 0, while I less than 10 we are printing I value. I plus is assigned to 1, and it will increase until the value is reached to this condition, until this condition is satisfied. So this is the result. The argument of while loop is evaluated as Boolean statement, which means true or false. The loop is executed until the statement evaluates to false. So until this condition is satisfied, this loop will iterate accordingly. And list comprehensions. List comprehensions are one of the Python's most beloved and unique features. The easiest way to understand them is probably to just look at a few examples. See, we can see here few examples. Here, squares is a variable. Variable name, and also assigned in a list form, which is having a for operation in it. స్క్వేర్ అనేది ఒక లిస్ట్. సో ఇన్బిల్ట్గా ఇక్కడ ఫర్ లూప్ ఆపరేషన్ రన్ అవుతుంది అనమాట. సో ఎన్ స్క్వేర్ ఎన్ డబుల్ స్టార్ అంటే ఎన్ స్క్వేర్. సో ఎన్ స్క్వేర్ ఫర్ ఎన్ ఇన్ రేంజ్ ఆఫ్ 10. Within the range of 10, here the operation executes as which results square of n value. ఈ లిస్ట్ కాంప్రహెన్స్ ఎందుకంటే అంటే ఓవరాల్గా మొత్తం కోడ్ 2-3 లైన్స్లో రాయకుండా సింగిల్ లైన్స్లో రాసేయచ్చు అనమాట బై యూజింగ్ దిస్ లిస్ట్ కాంప్రహెన్షన్ కాన్సెప్ట్. సో హియర్ ఈస్ ద ఎగ్జాంపుల్ which is written without a list comprehension style. These both are same, but this is used as example of list comprehension, and this is without the list comprehension. Here we have declared this list called square and a for loop, and we are appending this values to this square to this list and printing the list. So since this is a traditional method, to minimize this code lines, we are using this format. So we can also add if condition in this. So here short underscore planets is a variable. In that a for loop operation has been initiated, and we also use this if condition. If length of planet is less than 6, then we are retrieving these planets. So since Venus and Earth, Mars is satisfied to this condition, so we got this 3 planets. And another example is that here is an example of filtering with if condition and applying some transformation to the loop variable, like a variable here loud underscore short planets is equal to planet dot upper and appending this character string character here for planet in planets. If length of the planet less than 6, if length of the planet is less than 6, and also the planet is in uppercase, the character of a planet is in uppercase, then we are retrieving those planets names, and also adding this string character. This upper method here we used to convert those small case letters. So that's why we are getting all these planets in uppercase. So this is the traditional way to write this code, which is similar to this one. So here this here is an example how this for loop works. ఇక్కడ మనం 32 అని వేరియబుల్ 32 అనేది డిఫైన్ చేసాం కదా. సో 32 ఫర్ planet in planets. Let me show you the output. So which results as 8 times, I mean 8 times ఇక్కడ 32 అని ప్రింట్ అయింది. Since this the elements in planets list having count of 8 planets. A list components combined with functions like min, max and sum. We can also use this min, max and sum, and also few other methods in this list comprehension concept. So this is a traditional method, and this is the list comprehension method, which is quite similar to each other. This count underscore negative is a function which returns number of negative numbers in the given list, and it will count the number of negative elements in those lists, and which returns the count of negative numbers. సో ఇది కూడా సేమ్ ప్రింట్ చేస్తుంది అనమాట, విచ్ ఎవాల్యుయేట్ లెంత్ ఆఫ్ దేర్ కౌంట్. సో ఇది సింపుల్ ఫార్మాట్లో లిస్ట్ కాంప్రెషన్ యూస్ చేసి రిటర్న్ చేయొచ్చు మనం. And this is the another way to write the similar code. We are using sum method here. And coming to exercise, we need to run this code first. So the first question is, the following program has a bug. Try to identify the bug and fix it. ఈ చిన్న కోడ్లో స్మాల్ బగ్ ఉందంట. సో దట్ వీ నీడ్ టు ఐడెంటిఫై దట్ బగ్. సో హియర్ వీ కెన్ సీ, ఐ మీన్ ఈ రిటర్న్ ఫంక్షన్ అనేది ఎప్పుడైనా ఈ రిటర్న్ కీవర్డ్ యూస్ చేస్తే ఎప్పుడైనా వెంటనే ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయిపోద్ది అనమాట, వితౌట్ ఇటరేటింగ్ ద అదర్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఇన్ దిస్ list. It will automatically exit this block. So wait, let me show you so remember that return causes a function to exit immediately. So the original implementation always ran for just one iteration. So he was saying like, and without checking the another elements to this condition, it will exit the loop as soon as that first element is satisfied to this condition. But we can only return false if we have looked at every element of the list. So by confirming that every element is whether every element is satisfied to this condition, we need to confirm that we need to return true or false. So we need to come out of this block and return false. So that's how we are allowing this if block to further iterations. So and Here we can see the shorter version of that function, which is this version is using a list comparison in Python's function using this any function. If you want to know this how this any function works, we can also use this help function. So here we get this description of how it works. And coming to the second question, look at the Python expression below. What do you think will get when you run it? So what do you think what do you think we get when you run it? When you have made your prediction, uncomment the code. So what do you think? It just gives an error, definitely. Because we never have used the libraries which helps this code to run. R and Python have some libraries like NumPy and Pandas. Compare each element of the list to 2, element wise comparison, and give us a list of booleans like false, false, true, true. So implement a function that reproduce this behavior, returning a list of booleans corresponding to whether the corresponding element is greater than n. So here he was asking to return this boolean function which element is greater than m. So return elements which in L. So here we have used the list comparison method in a single line. మనం ఇక్కడ జస్ట్ చెక్ చేసి రిటర్న్ చేస్తున్నాం అనమాట వెదర్ దిస్ ఎలిమెంట్ ఇన్ దిస్ లిస్ట్ నేమ్డ్ ఎల్ ఈజ్ గ్రేటర్ దాన్ దిస్ థ్రెషోల్డ్ వాల్యూ ఆర్ నాట్. So this is the another solution which is similar to that one. Here they have just declared this list, and for element in L, I mean which is list, for element in this list L, we are appending this elements while checking whether this greater than threshold or not, and returning this list. And this is the shorter version. And coming to the third question, complete the body of function below according to its docstring. Menu underscore is underscore boring is a function given a list which gives list of meals served over some period of time, return true if the same meal has ever been served 2 days in a row, and false otherwise. So, given a list of meals served over some period of time, our return true if the same meal has been served 2 days in a row, and false otherwise. Okay, it's a bit tricky. So we look into the answer. The key to our solution is to call range. Range of lengths of meals would give us all indices of meals. Yes, if we had used that range, the last iteration of loop would be comparing the last element of last to the element after it, which is index error. So this range of lengths of meals minus 1 gives us all the indices except the index of last element. But don't we need to check the meals is empty. Turns out that range of 0 is equal to 0. So they are both are empty. So here we have declared the for loop operation. Just imagine a weekday meals from Monday to Saturday, and length of meals which will gives us the count of meals they have provided. Here they were asking 2 meals continuously ఎప్పుడైనా సర్వ్ చేస్తే we need to return true value here, otherwise we need to return false value. So we are checking with the index value if meals of I is equals to meals of I plus 1, which is nothing but the next day, next index value. So if this condition satisfy, and we are returning this true value, otherwise false value. And coming to the fourth question, next to the blackjack table, Python Challenge Casino has a slot machine. You can get a result from the slot machine by calling this function play underscore slot underscore machine. The number it turns in your winnings in dollars. The number it returns is your winnings in dollars. Usually it returns 0, but sometimes you will get lucky and get a big payday. Try running it. Wait. 1.5 0. So okay. By the way, did we mention that each play costs $1? Don't worry, we will send it bit later. On average, how much money can you expect to gain or lose every time you play the machine? The casino keeps it a secret, but you can estimate the average value of each pull using a technique called Monte Carlo method. Monte Carlo method. To estimate the average outcome, we simulate the scenario many times and return the average result. So complete the following function to calculate the average value per play of the slot machine. So we need to calculate the average value per play slot of machine. So we just need to predict the outcome. So we need to call this number n runs by giving any predict expecting value. So the exact expected value of one pull of the slot machine is 0.025, a little more than 2 cents. Not every game in a Python challenge casino is rigged against the player. Because of the high variance of outcome. Yes, we can see here we are getting high variance. Like first we have got 1.5, and again from that onwards we haven't get any higher value other than 0. So that's why they have mentioned high variance of outcome. There are some very rare high payout results that significantly affect the average. You might need to run your function with very high values of n runs to get a stable answer close to the true expectations. If your answer is a way higher than 0.025, then maybe you forget to account for the $1 cost per play. You can also check this. So run this code cell to receive the credit. So if we run this fourth question, we can complete this exercise. Just check with any random number. Just so that's all for today class.